Hi, everybody. This is Tuesday's devotional, and I'm really glad that you're tuned in to hear me. Today, we've been going through the Old Testament, starting in Genesis, and today we're in Joshua. And this is an interesting passage in that you remember that now Joshua is taking over cities in the Promised Land. Jericho was the first one, and then I think that's how you pronounce it, and other places that had pretty good armies. But you remember that Israel was huge. I mean, they were a large nation. So when they showed up on your doorstep, that was a lot of people. And so they're moving into the Promised Land, and the king of Jerusalem. Now remember, Jerusalem at this point is not Jewish. I mean, the Jews are not there. Israel is not there, so it's occupied by other people. And the king of Jerusalem is in our passage today. He has an interesting name that I'm going to talk about in relation to Jesus. So we're in Joshua chapter 10, verse 1. Adonai-zedek, that's the king's name, king of Jerusalem, heard that Joshua had captured and completely destroyed Ai and killed its king, just as he had done in the town of Jericho and killed its king. He also learned that the Gibeonites had made peace with Israel and were now allies. He and his people became very afraid when they heard all of this, because Gibeon was a large town, as large as the royal cities and larger than Ai. And the Gibeon men were strong warriors. So he's very nervous that they're coming his direction, and indeed they are. And so he's nervous about it, and he notices that some towns have sued for peace, and they're now allies and doing okay, and the kings especially. But in the towns that they fought, the kings were killed. Now, he's the king of Jerusalem, the town of Jerusalem, and his name is Adonai, which is a word for God or Lord. So Lord, and Zedek, which means righteousness. So his name is Lord of Righteousness. Interesting name, to be sure. Adonai-zedek, King of Righteousness. Now, if you think about Jesus, who rode into Jerusalem, the true King of Righteousness, who comes and is unlike any other king in that he gives his life for the people. Sacrifices himself and rises from the dead. But he is the true King of righteousness, the one who gives us righteousness, who brings actual righteousness, not this supposed King of righteousness in Jerusalem at the time. So, it's important in our day to remember that the King of righteousness, the King of the whole world, is our Savior and our God. And to remember that he is a power that is far greater than any power on earth. No president, no king, no ruler anywhere has the power of this King of righteousness in people's lives and on this earth. Remember that when you're nervous or worried about things you see in the news, like a COVID virus or maybe politics you don't agree with. Remember that the true King of righteousness, who came into Jerusalem years after what we're reading here today, is the one who rules our lives and our hearts. And he has a power to change things in your life if you give them over to him, give them up to him, and allow God to take your life and run it. Today, Karen and I go for a walk around lake. We went on a different walk today. It was really fun. And we're talking about how God is, when we give things over to God, that God takes them and really changes our lives. And that's true. And it's true for you today. If you have a problem or a situation in your life that's really bugging you, give it over to the Lord. See what He does with it. Now, probably won't do what we would expect, because He's God and He thinks differently than we do, and He has a long-range plan that's way different than ours. But you can trust Him, and you can give things over, offer them to Him, and let God take care of your problems in your life and show you the way. Hope that helps today. God bless, and have a great, wonderful day.